Hey folks, it's Lindsey Hudson with SPS back in the building over at the DC Elite Summer League, man. A great time. But man, what I love about my job is not only can I work with our young people, have a great message, but I get to hang out with my friends. I get to hang out with my guy, Darryle Buchanan. Coach B.
Thank you.
Over here at Southfield A&T holding it down.
Yes, sir.
Man, we could talk about basketball, but I know better to leave it at that because you're so well-versed, so committed to the community. You see things in the layers that they are. So to just talk about basketball would be a disservice. But let's talk about what it's like for you and all your worldly experience coming back and being able to help our young people through sport. And I'll just kind of lead with that.
Okay, so for me, basketball is my hook. Okay, I've been doing this for a while, and I mean, I've been, in the final game of the season and standing there on the floor, and we won that last game. There's not another feeling like that. But over all that time, you start to realize that basketball has way more use in life, just teaching young men how to survive. So I had started my AAU program, Transition, and just the name itself is a metaphor for what I'm doing with the game. So we talk about transition basketball, right? We're talking about going from offense to defense and, trying to make sure you're well-versed in all the aspects of the game. But I'm also trying to get you to transition through life successfully, okay? So the things that you learn for me, my mission is this. I'm going to teach, there's three things you got to do. Number one, you got to be in shape because we go baseline to baseline.
Yeah.
The second thing is you got to learn the game the way I teach it, okay? I mean, and everybody has a different style, different method of teaching, but, you have to learn the game the way that I teach it. But then the third thing is that you're going to have to learn how to execute because the game will speed up to a point where I won't be able to tell you exactly what it is that's going on. You're on the floor. You're in shape. You understand the game. You have to execute on your own.
Right.
That's life. You think about it. In life, you have to be in shape. That's your education.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about
fit.
I'm not talking about just a 4-year degree. I'm talking about whatever it is that you choose to do, whether it be, being an electrician, a carpenter, a plumber.
Your craft.
Learn your craft, okay? The way it was taught to you. Because when you get out in the real world, nobody is standing behind, standing over your shoulder telling you what you need to do.
Right. You
have to be able to execute on your own.
Yeah.
So those are fully transferable skills that can be learned through the game of basketball. And, I've been doing this long enough, and when I look back, the real payoff for me is when I meet my guys, right? And their husbands, their fathers, they're educated, they're successful, and they still call me coach.
Yeah, still call you coach.
That's the thing. That's my payoff.
Talking about the larger spectrum of things, you're not someone who's living in a small space. You see things in big, broad brushes. Talk about where we are with not only high school basketball, but just youth sports, and what is it going to take to get these young people to take advantage of this? So like you said, they can transition, but just with everything that's going on in the world that we adults have caused for them, talk about what they're up against.
I guess the biggest thing is competing. Okay.
Competing.
I mean, because you're going to compete for everything that you do in life.
You mean I ain't just going to be able to walk in and get it and somebody going to look out for me? What's up with the hookup?
It don't happen like that.
I know, Coach B. What's up? Yeah.
You have to be able to compete. And I mean, and that's all every aspect of your life.
Right.
Okay. You got to be able to compete in that classroom. You got to be able to compete in that business world or corporate or wherever it is.
Why is that such a challenge, Coach B? Why is that such a challenge?
I don't know if people understand the value of that, or they don't anticipate that there's going to be competition. Okay, and so if we're not grooming our young people to understand, how much it really takes to be successful in life, that nothing is going to be given to you, then we're falling short of our role as coaches, as adults, as educators.
And it seems like that when there is pressure, they've looked at it like, I don't want no pressure. Let me see how I can get out of it. As they say, they want to finesse it. So when they run into pressure, they want to go away. How do you respond to that?
Good luck with that, because there's going to be, it doesn't matter what it is that you do. I mean, there's going to be some level of pressure. I mean, because if anything was easy, everybody would be doing what it is that you want to do.
But they do it on social media, Coach. When I look on social media, everybody got a Bentley. Everybody, is living a life. At least that's what it looks like.
Uh-huh.
I know what that
Right. Yeah, I mean, the reality is, man, we got to get these kids to start understanding what's real and what's Memorex, okay?
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that are going on around them, much more so than we ever had to deal with.
Right.
I mean, I can't imagine growing up in this era, with the kind of pressure that these young people are under. They're worried about likes. They're worried about, clickbait, things of that nature. And for me, I stopped worrying about whether or not you like me a long time ago.
You know what? And with that being said, they are worried about likes. But what I realize that for them, that's their currency. And I think you are in a unique role because of your worldly experience, like I said, but still being cool enough. You're cool enough to be on the corner, but you're also corporate too, because I know you. You know what I'm saying?
That's the uniqueness of me growing up in my era. Okay, because I grew up during the Civil Rights era. Okay, I grew up on Virginia Park between 12th and 14th Street.
Wow.
So I think I've seen
that was the epicenter.
A whole lot of things in my life. I mean, I was there for the rebellion in '67. And
you said rebellion, not riot.
Yeah. If you
language is important,
and when you start in branding, it's how you
and who's branding it,
right? So for years, it's been branded as being a riot. Okay, well, when you think about a riot, there was people, one person going after another. Like 43, that was a race riot. You had white people going against black people and back and forth, right? That wasn't the case in '67. It was people that were fed up, with the conditions that existed in the city at that time.
Right.
And we had a very oppressive police force. Right. Lack of opportunity. Right. We were all condensed, living in specific areas. Yeah. Okay. So those were that was the fuel for the rage.
Sure.
They pressed it until it just exploded.
That's it. Before we get out of here, the leadership at your school is Rod, my guy Rod Jones. I just remember him being at Henry Ford High School, being in the gym, and he being a senior and me being a sophomore on varsity. How's his leadership been? How's that relationship? And what can we expect from Southfield A&T going forward?
So we didn't talk about this part. I used to be on the Southfield Board of Education. I sat there for 10 years. I actually created the position of athletic director.
Are you serious?
Yeah, seriously. We had.
Why did you feel the need to do that?
Well, me being a coach, I understood all the changes and challenges that were taking place in high school athletics and what that meant for scholarship athletes. And if we didn't change, we were going to miss out. And I had been talking to my superintendent, Dr. Cook Robinson. She, she was always, open. Yeah. We had a kid, a 5-star recruit, went down to Iowa. And Iowa was getting ready to send him back home because of a mistake that we made. And she said, I get it now. And so we sat down and we went through all the things that we wanted in that position. And I'm going to say this. When I created that position, I couldn't have envisioned a more professional person to be in that role than Roderick Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And a side note, when we were first meeting, we were talking. He said, Coach, you went to DePours. I said, yeah, I went to DePours. I coached at DePours. He said, my oldest brother went to DePours. I said, oh, really? I said, okay. He said, yeah, but he's probably older than you. I said, really? I said, who's your brother? And he said, well, Rocky Jones. I said, pull out my phone. Showed him a picture of us warming up. I said, that Rocky Jones right there?
Oh, man.
There's me
warming up right there, right with each other. So, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just funny how small the world really gets when people communicate and really look at each other and understand how close we all really are.
But also, too, you are in the business of helping young people.
Yes.
So that kind of makes the circle a little smaller.
Absolutely.
With that being said, any final words you have for, the fan base, whoever it may be, whoever can just hear our voice and what we're talking about?
I want to say that if anybody could ever spend some time with a young person and just give them your words of wisdom, don't be afraid of them. They need us right now. People think that these kids, they talk about they lack discipline, or these kids, they're starving for discipline.
Can I just say one thing? And I had 3 young men come up here back to back to back, separate teams, obviously. And when I was saying, what advice can you give a young person? All 3 of them say, pray to God. Same thing I did. Because when you talk about branding, we say all our kids are like that. But I had 3 young men, and they talked about that. So I think amongst all this that's going on, you still got some young people who are saying, no, this is where I'm at. And I think that's worth saying, too.
And there's a mindfulness that has to go along with that you actually have an awareness of who you are. There are too many young people out here, and one of the things that I always do, I said, okay, you're 16, 5 years from now, you're going to be 21. What is 21-year-old you doing? Okay, well, I don't know. I said, well, you need to start envisioning who that is, and not just in your mind where you're going to tell me some feel good. I want you to actually see yourself, what you're wearing, where you are, and tell me where you are, because that becomes your journey.
That's right.
And if you start on that journey, okay, you'll be further along than you were than if you had no plan.
Right.
But then also you may change, but you'll still be further down the path than you would have been if you had no vision of yourself.
Let's start thinking about the future. Well, we got Coach B here, Darryle Buchanan, a good friend, great leader, and more than a resource for our young people, man. I thank you for your commitment. I don't think they know how great of a resource they have in you, but they will find out, right?
Yeah, they're going to find out one way or another.
My God, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Lindsay Ellis with SPS at the DC Summer League, the Elite Summer League, that is, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Hey, folks, it's Lindsay Huddleston with SPS. Thank you for watching the video, and also thank you for supporting our young people. I'm in a very unique position. I am a sports psychology consultant, but I also have media credentials, cover collegiate and high school sports. Just the past few seasons, I covered Michigan State football and basketball as an example. And one thing is true across the board for college level athletics, they do not, in most cases, prepare our young people to talk to the media. I'm probably the friendliest media person they'll come in contact with. So with that being said, I want to offer my service to you and to your young person as it relates to media training, not only to help them be successful talking to the media regarding their sports, but also in life. Give them the confidence to communicate who they are and put a positive foot forward. So with that being said, you can reach me at the email below, lh@TheSPSEdge.org. We are a nonprofit organization, so anything you do is not only going to support your young person, but other young people as well as it relates to overcoming mental toughness and mental health in today's society. So with that, thank you for your support. Hopefully I can help your young person get the SPS Edge.